Due to the overpopulation in the world, the United Nations has decided to decrease it by killing students. They were given a test every year, and those who did not pass with good grades were killed. Everyone was now ready for the test that had to take place in 18 hours. Later, we see a girl named Liana who was preparing her younger brother for the test. Despite his extensive preparation, he informs Liana that he can't pass it. He requests her contact lenses to cheat. Liana hands her brother a pair of contact lenses and advises him to destroy them after the exam. After receiving a call from the doctor, she goes to the hospital right away. The doctor told her that her mother's condition is getting worse, we have to take care of her. In the governor's house, we notice the governor's son, Black. He tells his guards to bring him something to eat from the kitchen. When the guard has left, Black arrives to meet up with his friend. His friend claims that this strategy is always effective. Black informs his friend Ellie that they are likely to meet for the last time because they also have a test tomorrow. Ellie confesses that she is terrified of the test. Meanwhile, a guard of Black arrives and takes him to his father. His father hugs him and wishes him luck on the test before leaving. Later, we see a school scene with black-suited guards. They were keeping an eye on the students and checking them. We also encounter Liana's brother, who has misplaced his contact lens. Meanwhile, guards see him and ask him to move further. Black appears and asks for contact lenses from Liana. But she claims to just have one lens that she has given to her brother. On the other hand, guards were inspecting the students. After catching a student's cheating device, the guards throw him in jail. The test begins, and the guards lock the whole school. Teachers instructed students that the test is a bit tough. But they trust their student that they'll attempt it. Later, the lights of the class dims and every student begin the test. Students become afraid after the test, even some were crying. The failures' names were now being announced and the guards took hold of them. Few were operated and few requested the release. Ellie has also failed, so the guards took her. Teachers were congratulating past students, and after that, they were left in the recording room. Liana's brother was seated between failed students. Black, on the other hand, was pleading with his father to save his friend Ellie. He tried everything he could to save Ellie, but he couldn't. After a year, only 24 hours remained for the second test. Liana was getting her younger siblings ready for this test. Their mother had also passed away. On the other side, we see Black in his room, working out. He sends a letter to his father while putting it in the mailbox. When his father opens it, he finds a tablet with a video that Black has recorded. He says in the video that he'll fail the test deliberately. He states if his father wants to stand with the system, he should also support the system that will murder his son. Black's father insisted on bringing his son, but the exam had already begun. In addition, the school was closed, and the test started in the classroom. On the other hand, we have junior students. A cartoon video was playing on screen for students. It says this test is designed to detect overpopulation. America only allows living intelligent students. Following the conclusion of the video, the children clapped. Their test was conducted by the teacher, and on the other hand, we notice senior students who have also begun their tests. Black finishes his test right away and sits quietly in class, attracting the attention of his teachers. Liana's brother was testing in the junior section but raises his hand to ask a question. The teacher is not permitted to assist him, so she asks him to do his best. The test has also been completed and the teacher instructs all students whose names will be called to stand up. Teachers on both sides begin to call out the names of those who have failed. Now we find that Liana failed her senior year as well. The guards took her, but Black has passed the test. His father receives a call informing him that the transfer has been succeeded. He notices that the failed students have been taken to a hall. On the other side, Liana's teacher tells a guard that she can't be failed. She is her best student, but the guard doesn't listen to her. Later, he asks Liana to say goodbye to his teacher. Her teacher gives her a key card and hugs her. Those who failed were taken to a hall. To conceal the card, Liana keeps it in her mouth. On the other hand, Black appears there. The students who failed were given new clothes and moved to a different room. All of the students were tied to a chair after being carried there. The guards who were around them were holding injections. After seeing this, a couple of the students were terrified and others were anxious. During this time, Black is seen distracting a guard and then he enters the control room after killing him. He comes inside and tries to use the computer, but it does not open because of a password. In exchange, he switches off the electricity to the entire school. The head of the control room notices the killed guard Black. During this moment, a few of them try to flee, and Liana also flees. With the help of the teacher's key card, she unlocks the door. Guards keep track of all the students they meet, and when they didn't find Liana, they assume she has fled. In the meantime, a guard notices her and learns that she is a teacher. She shows her key card and fools the guard by saying she has seen a student flee from the backside. But after that, Liana attacks him from behind. Meanwhile, Black arrives and the two of them work together to remove the guard. Liana claims that she cannot be failed, and Black claims he has deliberately failed. Despite this, his father has saved him. The head of the control room says we'll have to put the place on lockdown until they catch Liana. Whatever the case may be, parents must wait for their children. Liana and Black were concealed in the ventilation system. and they were both heading into a server room from there. The head of the control room, on the other hand, calls all of the teachers. And he checks the key card of all teachers. Now Liana's teacher doesn't have the card. Black's father, who was a governor, was also ragged and the government asked him to handle this situation. Liana and Black were passing from a vent, and at the time Black falls into a pool. She comes to the rescue and takes him around the corner. They change their damp clothes later by taking clothes from a locker. Meanwhile, Liana notices another vent and leads them inside. On the other hand, a student argues with the guard in the recording room. As a result, the guard strikes him, but Liana's friend records the incident on his phone. Now he sends it to a reporter. Liana's key card falls while she is passing through the vent. A guard approaches her as she tries to hold the key card. Meanwhile, Black hides Liana, but the guard who is watching him notices him. After killing him, Black puts on his uniform. Liana's instructor flirts with a male teacher and grabs his card. The male teacher does not have a card. The control room's head thinks he helped Liana in fleeing. Liana has now arrived at the server room, where she discovers a computer. However, the computer demands a password, which she does not have. She attempted to use her key card, but it was not recognized. She texts a video to a friend and the computer is unlocked with a password. She examines her grades, which she receives a 98% on. She looks at Ellie's score, which is 88%, and wonders how she could have failed. After double-checking Black's score, who is only passed by 15%, she sees the news of the governor in which he claims that Liana has killed 2 guards while running from here after failing the exam. And the head of the control room sees Liana from the camera. They capture her. She says that I've passed and I've evidence. On the other side, Black was also captured. The news reporter finds the list of marks. She was announcing that Liana had received the highest grade. Despite this, she has failed, and the governor's son had been passed. Following this information, the governor ordered Liana's release. Black is now handcuffed, so Liana goes to meet him, but they take her away. Black was crying the happy tears and the school's lockdown had been lifted. Liana returns home from school and embraces her younger sister. The parents whose children had not arrived wept a lot. The governor has also admitted to making a mistake and the failing students were carried to a location in an elevator. The pupils who failed see a factory where all of the tablets were manufactured. Every human who failed the test was working there. Black sees Ellie after getting a shock and the movie ends here. Thanks for watching and make sure to subscribe as it motivates us to keep uploading.